Right, and here we go on your Friday morning. We've got Coach Paul Tortorella of IUP with us on the line. Tort, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jack. How you doing?
All right, we're hanging in there, and I thought I'd be seeing you. You know, we were planning a while back that spring football would begin and be down there at Miller Stadium and watching you guys and evaluations and everything. This is certainly a different world, isn't it, now?
Well, it sure is. Actually, today was supposed to be our first day of practice, so, we're having to adjust like everybody else, and kind of everybody's in the same boat, so we're just going to try to make the best of the situation.
Tort, when we saw that this was going to be not just a short-term type thing, how did you handle this among the coaches and the players, and what were the procedures with this unusual situation?
Well, I think we all had to get really organized and kind of all get on the same page, knowing what was going to happen. Obviously, the number one thing were our players and their academics, and make sure they were okay at home, and their situation at home was good. And then as the staff, we started planning on, how we were going to get some things done. Obviously, now you can do a lot of things from home by your computer or phone. We talked the other day, if this was 15 years ago, we'd be in a total shutdown. But we're getting some things done. The main thing is the welfare of our players, the families of the staff, and the academics of our student-athletes.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a plus that you only have 10 games in the fall instead of the 11, so you're really not going to start the regular season till September 12. That should be a little bit of an advantage, shouldn't it?
Well, yeah. The thing with, this whole situation, we would expect to come in August, and normally we'd come in at the regular time, but we're coming in a little bit later because we don't play that first weekend. So we may come in a little bit earlier than we had planned since we didn't have spring practice, but it does give us an extra week to get ready for our first game, which would be most people's second game.
Mm-hmm. Last year you had a new quarterback come in Quinton Maxwell. This year, Javon Davis is back. He was with you last year as you redshirted him. And, of course, the new guy, Alex Raymart, who had transferred in. So this, I know you'd like to get, we all like to get the players on the field as quickly as we can, but that's going to delay it somewhat. So that's going to take some extra work too, isn't it?
Absolutely. We talked earlier in the week, probably the position that's going to, really be at a disadvantage because of losing this practice time is the quarterbacks, because, neither one of them have played here in a game, really. Javon played a little bit as a true freshman, finishing games. So that it was going to be a big spring, obviously, practice-wise on the practice field for the quarterbacks. And the other position was defensive line. We have a lot of younger guys that we're expecting to help us, and so they're going to miss spring practice as well. But, everybody's, like I said, in the same situation, and we'll just have to practice a little bit differently in preseason camp, probably have to practice a little bit longer. But we're trying to get a lot of the mental things out of the way because our coaches are still online having meetings with their position groups through this Zoom online. So we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Mm-hmm. We're with Coach Paul Tortorella of IUP. Tort, since we did our TV and our promotional annual thing of the recruits that you brought in, the transfers, have you added anybody? Has anybody else joined the IUP family?
As of now, no. We're speaking with a numerous list of kids that potentially will be walk-ons. We've got a pretty good list out there, so we'll probably address that more when we get into the summer. Obviously, with the transfer portal, some guys may become available. Usually you look after spring practice, but without spring practice, maybe there won't be as many. But we're in pretty good shape right now with what we have, and we've kind of stood pat with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see now the information that came out yesterday with Nick Dubowski is back. Good to see him back. Maybe, we've mentioned it here this morning, played here, and then he got into the coaching ranks. Is he someone that can coaches tell certain players who might become coaches? Could you see that in him when he was here as a player?
I think that's a great point, Jack. You do come across different players throughout their time here, and every now and then you come up with a guy and you think, wow, this guy would probably be a really, really good coach. He was one of them. Jeff Arnold's going to be a graduate assistant for us next year. He's another guy. So Nick was a really, great teammate, good football player, very smart, has his master's degree, and, he was an unbelievable student here when he was here. So I questioned him a little bit why he wanted to get into coaching in regards to that, but jokingly, but, we're really happy to have him back. It's great to have an IUP guy to add to the staff.
Tort, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. We hope to see you very, very soon, and best to you, okay?
I appreciate it, Jack. Same to you.
You bet. Paul Tortorella, IUP Football. We'll wrap it up for you after we take this time out for the Sports Boosters.